I think what you could do is, I'm just trying to think about my own kids and the conversations we've had. I think it would be very easy to create an example that they may be familiar with, that they weren't happy with, or they saw some sort of wrong or injustice happening, and asking them, would they be willing to stand against that?
Yeah.
Right? Like if you saw somebody bullied at school and, for example, you just let that happen, how would you feel about yourself? Or would you try to draw attention? Would you defend that individual?
Yeah.
I hope you would. I hope I raised you to do that. Would you speak up against it? Would you report that to the authorities? Would you stand with the people who have been victimized? Like, I hope you would do that stuff, right? And then you start talking and asking questions about, well, how would you do that? And what would be an appropriate response?
What does that look like? Yeah.
Would you smash the windows at the school? Would you start beating up other people who maybe just didn't necessarily agree with you? Would you steal things from the classroom? So we break it down and we bring it into, I don't know what age group we're talking about here, but you break it down into a context that's relevant.
Would you fight the other kid that were friends with the kid that was bullying?
Right.
You make them wrong? Do you attack them?
Right. Yeah. So I think you just ask these questions. I had a very uncomfortable conversation with my son the other day. A very uncomfortable conversation
about this
sex. No, about sex, and
that's fine.
I mean, we've had the birds and the bees, but like this went into a level that I was like, oh. But it was manageable because
do not Google this, and I will give you the answer if you promise.
Well, and that's the thing. Most of us just spend an inordinate amount of time avoiding these conversations, and they're totally uncomfortable and awkward. But like at the end, I walked away and I'm like, I'm really glad that we had that conversation. Yeah. But I just asked him questions. Like I didn't preach to him.
Yeah.
I just asked him questions.
Allowed him to work through
What do you know? Like, what do you think? What do you already know? Like, what do I need to explain? What don't I need to explain? Like, what are you coming to this with some preconceived notions? Are you coming with an empty mind and an open slate? Like, I don't know. I got to find that stuff out. Yeah. So I think all of us would do better in life in general if we were just quicker to ask questions. Like I saw somebody that we both know the other day. He said, I think this morning, in fact, on Facebook, he said, I'm looking for a mentor, any takers? And everybody's like, oh, do this and do that and do this and here's this and here's that. And I'm like, well, what do you want?
I'll tell you what to do. Yeah.
No. It's like, that's what people were doing, right? And my question was, hey, like, what does that mean? What is it? What are you after? Right? Allow that individual to clarify so that you can know, like, oh, okay, well, based on that new information that I didn't have before, here's how I would approach that. I just think learning to be better understanders of people by asking questions in good faith. Okay, if you're asking rhetorical questions or bullshit questions or questions that you're trying to trap other individuals
or to manipulate them.
Yes, that's different. That's not in good faith. And we see that on Facebook all the time, social media all the time. People asking questions. It's like, come on, dude.
It's really,
we know
they're
that's
not really
an honest
open
question.
to hear answers. Yeah.
Right.